So now I'm going to go back to my home directory, and I know I'm there because I could type pwd and see my home directory. Since my screen's getting a little cluttered, I'm going to use the clear command to clear my screen. So now I don't have any clutter here. First thing I want to do, since I'm in my home directory, I want to show you how to create files. So you can use the touch command to create a file. So I'll create one called test.txt. So now if I type the ls command, you can see it created that test.txt file. I can look at the contents of that file by using the cat command. So if I type cat test.txt, it'll show me the contents. You can see there's nothing here because I haven't actually put any contents in that file. One of the other commands we can play with is echo. Echo is just going to echo whatever you type in here. So if I type echo hello world, it's just going to say hello world. Now with many commands, you can take the output of the command and redirect it somewhere. You can tell it, I want to put this somewhere. So in this example, I want to tell it to take whatever is being echoed and put that into test.txt. So now if I type the cat command and look at the contents of test.txt, I can see hello world, right? It's in that file. And I can do it again. So I'll append something else to here. Hello world again. And then you can see it's in there. Now notice I didn't type the command. I hit the up arrow on my keyboard and it's going to bring up whatever the previous commands were. So that's your command history. So that can be useful sometimes. Now I can also copy, move, and rename files. So for example, if I type, or remove files I meant, although move can also rename. So if I wanted to make a copy of that file, I would type cp. Now I'm just going to hit the tab key and notice that it completes the name of that file. So you don't have to keep typing the entire name of a file. I can hit tab. That works for commands as well. So I'm going to make a copy of test.txt. I'm going to call it test2.txt. And now you can see there's two files, test.txt and test2.txt, since I made a copy of it. I can move the file. So for example, maybe I didn't mean to call it test2. I can move it from test. And by the way, when it bings like that and you hit tab, it's going to show you what your options are. So now I can hit 2 because, and once you have only one option to hit tab, it'll just finish writing whatever belongs there. So I'm going to move test2.txt to new file. And I'm not even going to put an extension on it. You don't have to have file extensions, right? They're completely optional. And even without a file extension, I can still cat the contents of that file, right? It still treats it like a text file. It's smart enough to know that that's a text file. So now I've moved the file to a new name. You can also move it to a different location, right? So, and you don't have to change the name, right? I could have kept the changed name and just put it in a different folder altogether. I can also remove a file. So now I'm done. I can type the rm command and I can remove test.txt, and now all I have left is new file, right? Okay, so this time we learned how to create a file using the touch command. I showed you how to use echo to put stuff into a file, and really just to echo anything to the command prompt. As you complete your assignments throughout the term, I'm going to ask you to use the echo command to output your name. So in my case, I would echo Brian Green. So I'll type that in the command line and let it echo. And this would be the last thing I do if I'm taking a screenshot, just so that I know who did it, right? So I can see the name of the student that created the screenshot. So that's certainly something you might need to do. One last thing in this part that I almost forgot is sometimes you need new directories, right? And you need to work with directories. So to create a file, we use the touch command. To create a directory, you can use mkdir. And I'll just call this newdir. So now you'll notice I have a directory called newdir, and then I can go into that directory, right? So now I'm inside that newdir directory that I just created. I'll come back out. So we can use testdir to see if a directory exists. Oh, I guess I don't have testdir on my system, but that's a package you could install. And you can remove a directory. So rmdir, and if I put in, what did I call it, newdir, it removes that directory. So now the directory is gone. The rm command can also remove directories as well as files. It can do both. You just have to add an option to it. You have to put a switch on it. And that's it. So you learned how to create directories, how to move files and directories. By the way, the move command, the copy command, they work with directories as well. And we learned how to view the contents of files.